guys, right, finally got to my spot. Cast out my line, kind of just thought, while I'm undoing the camera, might as well throw in my line. Basically, everything underwater here is boulders, and it comes from 0 feet right here down to I think 6 or 7. So I can't really take a picture of the bottom because I left my rope at Trey's house. So yeah, basically, right now I'm just fishing it back, and when I hit a boulder, I shake it back down the boulder and then I pop it over. And that's a lot of times when I'm gonna get the strike. See here? Pop it up, shake it a little bit, and let it slide back down. And you feel that tick, which a lot of beginning anglers don't really sense or don't really know what I'm talking about. It's that tick is basically when a fish takes that into his mouth. And when you set the hook, it's not one of those perfect things where you reel it down and yank. Don't yank. They'll rip the thing out of the mouth because the weight pops open their mouth. So it'll pull the hook out with it if you jerk it. But if you pull it really strong, it'll just pop out the weight and the mouth will stay closed, and then you can do that. See, like what I just did there? Don't do that. See, that's a snag. And a lot of times with a snag, you don't want to do what I do. Alright. Sometimes you gotta break off your line. Stepped right in front of a little bass, so I know they're around here. Not bad. Well, if we can't fish a jig, then we might as well fish one of these babies. Yep, really small worm for finicky bass. Throw it out there and fish it back really, really slow. And it doesn't have to be too slow because, well, I'm just gonna sit next to the camera. Don't really need to see me. Gotta fish these real slow. Once you detect a bite, jerk it. Don't be like the jig. Don't pull back. Rip it hard, because it's not the same thing as a jig. Alright, nothing as of yet. If I throw it a little closer to the bank, I'll catch a little one, but I'm after big ones. I caught plenty of little ones this year. Alright guys, we're gonna pass this area because I don't really like it. There's lots of debris and stuff like that. I'm gonna stay right at it because I can cast right past it and still, so this is a much more comfortable spot anyway. Yeah, so basically what we're gonna do is just fish it real slow, right along, nothing special. Let it sink down. Now pull it real slow. And what you want to do is, visualize what the lure is doing. And since the water is so clear, you can really see right now what it's doing performance-wise. I know there's bass around here somewhere. Kinda just gotta let it hang in between those little caves. You're bound to find out where they are. Always watch your line. See, bass fishing is not something where you're like, oh, it's not a relaxed sport like catfishing. You always need to pay attention to what's happening. Here's the little bass, okay? I just watched him roll, okay? Can't be more than a pound. But if I keep snagging, of course, I'm not going to catch anything. Okay, here we go. You gotta watch out for that spot more often. It's like a little cave, and that bass, I know he wants it. There's plenty of fish in the sea, my uncle always used to say. But I'm not sure that was related to fishing. Basically, this thing just does erratic flips in the water. And that's basically what it's supposed to. There's got to be a bass around here somewhere. Gotta try places out. I mean, slower fish, better. I'm not a slow fisherman, but strangely right now I am. I've just got a little bit more patience for the finesse type of bait. That bass that I've been looking at has been here for just about 3 days. I know he's the same one because the markings, not all bass are completely like spotted. Lots of them have stripes, so. Uh-oh. Another small one took it. Sometimes you may be surprised. Maybe it's not that bass that takes it. It might be a different one. I can tell you this water here is a lot warmer than the water back there because of the rocks it's warming it up from the heat that it's gathered in the summer. Fish are going to stay right in the middle of that. If they're not going deep, they're going to be around here. You don't want your hook to bend a lot. That's why you don't want your hook to bend a lot, because if it does that, you're going to not get as many hookups. And not just that, with hookups and all that, that's why a lot of people prefer heavy wire hooks for bass, but not for these baits. You don't want heavy baits. You don't want heavy wire hooks, because if you do that, it'll sink differently. It'll sink too fast. You get snagged up a lot. And, it's better to break one off than not hook any at all. I'm waiting for that little bass right here to show back up, but hasn't been wanting to. Oh, okay. So we got a big snag. I think these fish were pulling them under rocks and just letting go afterward. Guys, a lot of times the big bass are exactly like the small bass. Not with experience, but I mean, by the way they like their baits. Like if you're fishing one really erratically just for fun, and a whole bunch of little bass come around, you're doing something right. Because if you fish it slow and there's nothing, and then you fish it erratically, you're doing something right. Oh, strike right there, fishing it erratically. Sometimes you just fish it erratically, because this stuff does tricks. It's like, what the Tennessee slider rig does is it gives the bait a little bit more like aqua dynamic, so it'll do like little flips in the water when you pop it. It's a nice little twist, and kind of gives the bait a nice little twist, something that the bass haven't seen yet. I really like using these. Oh. I don't know where there's my kayak over there. Pretty cool. Okay. So now we're just gonna very, very slowly pull it back in. Very, very slowly. Pop it a little bit. Give it a really fast motion. Stop and fish slow. Pop. Slow. Pop. Slow. Don't want to move it too much. You can pop it erratically and still fish slow. I'm not saying that you can't, but it's kind of strange to me what these fish want today. Because it's not fast, it's not slow. Just right in the middle. We can do like a little one of those things where it like speeds up. As long as you can see the riprap, you'll see me. Alright guys, I'm done bank fishing, getting too many snags. We're going to get this unsnagged from the boat. We're going to keep fishing this area, but from the boat and from the other direction. We're going to see how that works, because they aren't really coming towards the bank. They're leaving it. So, you know, I've seen videos where like, fish with the tide. I'm like, why not fish with my migrational patterns? Sure, it doesn't happen that fast, but in theory, it happens pretty fast, so I don't know. It doesn't take long for a fish to go from space 1 to space 2. So yeah, we're gonna keep fishing this spot, and then we're gonna head. I'm not sure which direction to head. I mean, if this were live, I'd ask you guys, but no, it's not live. Okay. Fudge. Okay. No! Darn it, snapped. That stinks. I've only got a limited number of those. Maybe it didn't snap. Yeah, it snapped. No? Yeah, it snapped. Damn it! Damn it! Ah, man. Oh well. Maybe a pike took it. I felt it run for a second. No, I didn't. Alright. Well, we were going for bigger fish anyway, so why don't we just use bigger lure? Why not 7 inches? Yeah. Oh boy. This big lure. I'm not even sure there's big enough of a bass in the lake. What that's meant for. Well, yeah, there is, but kind of pathetic. Okay. Well, that's 2 lures here. This place is official bad luck. Oh, I've just been going the wrong way. Always go towards your main line with the Palomar knot. It won't work if you go the other way. There we go. You know, lots of people, all of my friends in particular, can't cut through a line with their teeth. If you don't have your knife with you, don't worry, you got Tom, because he'll just cut through everything with his teeth. Jig skirts, don't worry. Nah. Weed guards, no, I don't do weed guards ever. Not since the incident. Oh, 43 minutes of film. Wow. Alright. So guys, I'll be putting this on just for safety. I will be back. Lots of wind coming back this way, so I don't really need to worry about coming back. Not as of yet. So, I just paddled past all the places I'm gonna fish, because what I like to do is let myself drift back. It's a really good technique, especially in a kayak. You know, it's not gonna work as well in a boat, as far as I know, because the boat's bigger. But you are gonna get broadside. It doesn't really matter, you know. You gotta kind of keep yourself on track. That's why you gotta keep your paddle at the ready. Other than that, don't worry about it. You know, I don't want. Okay. So we're sitting here right now. Oops, got an itchy leg. Okay. So we're basically fishing the outskirts of the boulders with a dead stick. We're just dead sticking a worm. Weightless. Okay, we're gonna put a shaky head on my worm and jig rod because all this thing's ever had on is a jig. So we're gonna test it out with shaky head. See how that works. You know, rigging, you should be able to know how to do that. If you don't, I am sorry. You should know that, and I've got a couple videos already on how to rig worms and stuff. So, yeah. I mean, it's pretty straightforward with the spring and all that, with the screw locks and all that. So, basically what I just did was I threw it straight into a dock. Let it sink to the bottom first thing, and loosely shake it back, kind of like if you're hooked on something. This will kind of just drag it back, or if you're moving with the wind, it'll just shake it. That really grabs bass's attention. You just don't want to get too close to the dock like I am now. You know, this wind is really hurting me. Well, not hurting, but you know, kind of getting in the way. And if you hear jingling, I apologize. That's my spinner baits. I drilled holes into the side of the boat right here. It's not rotating. I drilled holes right here just for that. So we're gonna kind of back up